Welcome everyone. Today we are going to do Aries reading for April 2022. I want to say happy birthday, Aries. I'm doing this really in the beginning of March, but don't worry about that. Time's fluid when it comes to readings. So also happy birthday, Pisces, if you're here. So this is going to be for Aries sun, moon, or rising. You certainly may have planets in the sign of Aries. What are we in right now? We're heading towards our Virgo full moon, and in Aries energy, I feel like that can be very powerful, especially as it relates to anything in your physical world, material world, that type of thing. This is also for those who are intuitively guided. I know many of my subscribers, you kind of know that. If you feel intuitively guided to something, you trust it now. So that makes me happy. Okay, let's get into your reading. We're going to start with Mother Mary, a little bit of words of wisdom, and then we'll get into the tarot. I'm using a new deck with you, for you, and I'll show you that in a minute. So we're going to pick one Mother Mary. I'm going to give a shout out to my friend Jim, who is March 22nd. Happy birthday. All right, we have God. God. I step out of the way and surrender any need for control in order to make room for God's healing love to flow through me and this situation. So I feel like if there's something going on right now, and if it's beyond your control, I feel like that's what it's saying. Hand it over to God. If you pray, I feel like this is talking about an answered prayer, but it may be answered differently than how you expected. Don't worry about that, because I always feel like if it's answered differently than what I prayed for, it can only be better. All right, so we are going to use what's called the Lustrous Tarot. This is really a remake of, who is it, Pamela Coleman? Everything's pre-shuffled, by the way. But I like to give it a shuffle with you here and a cut. And I think, you know what, let's just take off the top and let's fill the spread out like we did last month. I just painted my nails and I don't think I waited long enough. Okay. We have the Queen of Wands. So Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, can be you, can be another fire sign. Look at this. We have the King of Wands next to the Queen of Wands. They're looking right at each other. They're looking right at each other. I have Judgment. This is your spiritual team. This is, the trumpet is a call to attention, the present moment energy. Anything I'm looking for an answer for doesn't seem to lie in the past. Now, it doesn't mean it can't be someone from the past, but This is talking about a new type of energy because this is about a rebirth. Um, Interesting. We have the Death card, card of Scorpio, card of endings. It's interesting because we have two cards side by side that talk about um, a closing of a chapter so that a new chapter can begin. That's what Judgment wants you in the present moment for, so that, you're being guided. We're always being guided, whether that's what our spirit guides are for. Our angels, we really need to ask for their assistance, but our spirit guides are busy sending us signs or what have you. So we have two energies to talk about: the end of a chapter, but then a rebirth of another one. Okay, let's go above. We have the Seven of Swords above the Queen. What's this Queen? Looks like she's not in trustworthy energy. We have the Queen of Cups. Interesting. Makes me wonder if someone's wondering if someone's having an affair, if someone is stepping out on them. This can certainly talk about the past too, because this Queen of Cups is looking right over at the Seven of Swords, and Seven of Swords is looking at the Queen. So, this could talk about, I feel like, all of a sudden, like I was in a relationship. I feel like the Queen and the King of Wands may had already been in a relationship, or they met while this king was involved with someone else, with this Queen of Cups, let's say. It's like the Queen of Cups is looking down at this King of Wands, but the King of Wands is clearly looking at the Queen of Wands, and they are like-minded energy. So I feel like, however this came about, I do feel like I feel like the King and the Queen find each other. And unfortunately, I do feel like there is this other Queen, which could be someone's wife, that type of thing. Now, I'm not saying that this is something that is going to happen. This is something that would have already happened. But maybe there has not been a complete closing of a door between this king and queen to allow this queen to come in. I'm feeling all kinds of things. Like, maybe they don't even, maybe they just met. It's interesting because, no, I don't know. I feel like they know each other. We have the Ace of Wands coming over Judgment. Now, I feel like this Queen of Cups, I feel like she's kind of out of the picture now. And I don't mean her just as a water sign. I feel like this is someone that this king at one time probably did love, right? I mean, we love in different ways. However, the Queen and King of Wands, and I'm just saying Wands, but what I really mean is like-minded energy. I feel like, first of all, it's calling for these two to be in the present moment. These two. Why? Because Judgment, again, your ancestral team, a call to attention so that you can have some type of rebirth. Well, here is the Ace of Wands right above it. So it makes sense that this Ace of Wands is for the Queen and the King down here. Plus, this Queen of Cups has her back to it. Again, I don't want you to think, if you're a Queen of Cups, that, oh my God, this is talking about me. No, I just feel like it's just talking about it one time. But nonetheless, listen, this queen could have cheated on the king. And therefore, that's why this king is starting anew. Let's not put it all on this king, because, I do feel like this queen for some could have been the untrustworthy energy, and because of that, this king, maybe this king hasn't finalized things, but I do feel like this Queen of Wands now really, like, what feels like, you know, better energy. Just because they're very like-minded. Now, doesn't mean that they can't be opposites in certain things. But anyway, here's this Ace of Wands. This Ace of Wands is about a new beginning, right? It kind of gives you an idea of what type of path you're walking down, and it's your natural energy. It's the Ace of Wands. Action, desire, passion. What is it that my soul is calling for? And then the Ace of Wands gives you the opportunity. It's funny because both their wands have like 3 growths off of them. I don't know why all of a sudden I'm thinking, I have a feeling they spent 3 lives together. But when we look at the Ace of Wands, look at all the leaves off of this one. Look at all the growth. So, and I feel like that's potential. We have the High Priestess. This is your intuition. This is trusting your gut. Because here comes this Ace of Wands and then the High Priestess. Again, your intuition, your higher self, higher vibration. I feel like often the High Priestess means it's like we get a little peek at our future, at least the potential of it. Maybe it's just a feeling of it, but I feel like I don't feel like there's any doubt within this Ace of Wands. And maybe that's why Judgment is saying, the more you're in the present moment, the clearer this ace is, right? And then trusting it. This ace is giving you an opportunity to really close a door on something and close it for good. We have the Knight of Wands. The Queen, the King, and the Knight of Wands. We have the Four of Swords. I'm so sorry. First of all, I feel like this Queen of Wands is roaring to go. Like, let's go. I feel like she feels the passion between her and this king. I feel like this king, however, did take, it's almost like, I had to take time out for myself, but with real purpose, and the purpose was the healing. I do feel like maybe this queen was the one who stepped outside of the relationship, and therefore the king, and now it could be reversed. I want you to understand that the king could be the queen, but both the queen and the king are here. So anyways, I feel like this queen is ready to go. Like, she feels it. And I feel like this king has, has been in the healing process, let's say. And in that healing process, we don't want to speed it up, because in that healing process, there's one sword that I feel like is probably more important than all the swords, and that is of our own realization, our own truth, our own part. Did I stay at the party too long? Because I feel like, this queen is she's just carrying this untrustworthy energy this queen up here, how long did the king stay? You know what I mean? Maybe, I don't know. I want to say like through the king's travels, like he meets this queen. I feel like he's like ready to get out of his chair. He's ready to get out of his chair and move into her energy. So I definitely feel like that ace is to allow. I hate to say allow because it's really up to this king. I feel like patience was needed. I do, because I feel like this healing process was needed. If we just read it straight down like that, and then we have the ace. So we have this healing, and then we have the ace. We have the Nine of Wands. When I see the Nine of Wands, first thing I think of is, I probably haven't had the easiest of lives. I feel like we live our lives in chapters. This is like the last 9-year chapter. Can certainly be longer than that, but, this is about the growth. No wonder this ace has so many leaves all over it, because look at this. Each of these wands behind this person, I feel like, is an accomplishment. Probably hell to go through, but nonetheless went through it. And, I feel like the 9, not the 10, came out. So the 9, I feel like, is the realization. Sometimes, in this realization, we see that we take on more than we're meant to. We can carry other people's energy when it's theirs to carry. Does that make sense? I feel like in the 9 of Wands, this person is a little worn and torn, but their muscles, they're muscular. And I feel like what it talks about is the strength that they have gained, through the difficult times. We have the Queen of Swords. Can be a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. I just want to take one right after this queen because she's got her hand out. Look at this. I wanted to see what she had. If you see that, she's got her hand out. So I wanted to see what's she reaching for? The Lovers. The Lovers. First of all, card of Gemini. So we do have Gemini and Scorpio's major arcanas together. Now listen, okay, now we're going to the Queen of Swords. How I read is I read it by their energy. So I kind of forget about, I don't want to say forget about signs, but, this Queen of Swords could be actually a Virgo. Could be a Scorpio. This is someone who, first of all, her sword is pointed straight up at the Death card. So I feel like, the willingness to put something to an end. This man is on his knees praying. How interesting. Because your first card was God and asking you to step out of the way and allow God's love to feel this situation. And look at this, we have the Lovers. We're also in the year of the Lovers, by the way. I started doing your personal year numbers for this year. I did one. I'm just doing them in an audio. Yeah. Anyway, so we have the Lovers. Interesting. I think this queen reaches out to this king in some way. Actually, what I want to do, we have What is that? That's the Three of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. Interesting. Maybe these two end up working together, collaborating together in some way. You know, the Three of Pentacles is all about individuality and being comfortable in that. It's the understanding that many times you are the missing, like if I decide to, like, you know, just isolate myself from life, you are the missing piece of the puzzle. Like, you know, your participation is also needed, because who knows what your soul, you know, your soul is looking for. But anyways, in this energy, the people around you are appreciating you for what you bring to the table. They appreciate your craft, your craftsmanship, your individuality. I mean, they appreciate you. So, I feel like this Queen and King may have met in that type of energy, unbeknownst to them. And I feel like there's a love affair starting. I'm saying starting, it may have already, it's probably already started. I feel like I'm just reading the energy. For some of you, though, I don't know that it has yet started. I am not, again, I want to say I'm not predicting that someone is going to go out and cheat on you. You already know that, right? You know what kind of energy you're around. All of a sudden there's like pounding outside. All right, let's bring in the Gilded Tarot. I feel like the feminine energy is very prominent, and I mean that in like in a deep kind of loving way, but also in a passionate way. You know, I feel like this Queen and King, I feel like they're just meant to meet. Whether they met 30 years ago or they're just meeting. Maybe they're reconnecting. They could be reconnecting, but I feel like it's coming through the energy of, you remember how I said, like, I felt like they're very like-minded? We have the Knight of Wands. We have the Three of Pentacles. We have the Hangman. We have the Six of Cups. Interesting. And then we have Temperance. Which make perfect sense with, again, the element of God here. Temperance is all about divine timing. You know, it's interesting because I feel like this queen up here, I do feel like she was probably messing around with someone, and it was probably someone at her work. I'm saying her, could have been him. But anyways, I feel like, you know, they were doing their own thing. And I feel like the king just knows it. It's funny because Temperance is coming over this queen. So she may even know of this king situation, but still saying, have patience, allow itself to play out. Like the whole spiritual team is here to help move this thing along. However, you know, sometimes I feel like certain doors will close whether we want them to close or not. Maybe we're afraid to close them, maybe we're afraid of change, but sometimes it has to happen, so it will. The Hangman coming over this Ace of Wands, I totally feel like it's a block on this ace because of this queen and this king. Like, I feel like he needs to sever ties, because I do not feel like she inspires him. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like maybe it was karmic. Sometimes we just, it's free will. We end up with people that, you know, but it's like, okay, well, how long did we stay at the party? That's what the king has to figure out. He has to figure, or she has to figure her way out of this. And I feel like spiritually and mentally and physically, all of that. But I do feel like he is totally coming to the realizations, that it's like my ambition, my desire is being blocked. It's being blocked. And then you have the Six of Cups, which can talk about someone of the past. This is about happy memories, though. This is someone, when I think about him, like, it automatically brings a smile to my face and my heart. Coming over the High Priestess, I feel like almost like this king is having an awakening. This is a card of Sagittarius, by the way. I should say that. Alright, let's keep going. We're saying love, 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 love. This can be work, 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 work. You know what I mean? It's the same thing where it's like this untrustworthy energy, that has really been stealing your thunder. What about you? What about your thunder? What about your life? What about your dreams? What about love, real love, right? Trustworthy love. What about all of that? When the party is over, the party is over. Look at that. Look at that. And then you have the Tower. The party is over. Boom. Maybe, again, I feel like it's the universe, right? Bringing this to an end. Maybe neither would have ended it. Maybe both would have just... No, I don't think so. Because I feel like this king, once this queen comes into the picture, whether it just be like, like in my mind, I start thinking about someone, I have happy memories about them, whatever it is, I do feel like this is about the king moving forward from what was. No wonder he needed healing, right? Because the tower feels destructive. Listen, change is hard, even if it's change that will, like, change your life for the better. It's still hard to move from, living like uncomfortably comfortable. Does that make sense? Sounds like Pink Floyd's song. Comfortably numb. There you go. Comfortably numb. No more. We have the Hermit. Flipped itself around the deck. I think that's good. Again, we have 9. Both about reflection. It's all about the reflection. Hermit, Hermit does feel like, went through the dark night of the soul, seeking the light, and you can see that the Hermit finds the light. The Hermit is the light, and that's really what the Hermit figures out in the darkness of the cave. Hey, wait a minute. I am the light. Like, you are the center of the universe. What you want to do in your life, if you, put that intention and then action into it, that's what you will do. Again, maybe it won't look exactly like your plans, like you thought, but maybe it'll be 20 times better. This is the wise one. Like, I've become wise to instead of naive to. Now I'm wise. I often feel like the Hermit becomes the teacher, whether that's like purposefully, you know what I'm saying, or you know, whether it's just my aura now. So you have the Tower, right? Bam, the Tower. And then you have Judgment, right? Rebirth, call to attention. So I think what this is talking about is this king coming out of this healing phase, but coming out as the Hermit. To me, it's the same as the Hangman having an awakening. Both of them sharing the Ace of Wands, by the way. We have the Eight of Swords. So coming over the Death card, couldn't be any clearer what needs to come to an end. What door needs to close and close for good. You know, many times these soul lessons we learn them for eternity. Doesn't mean that we don't bring them back up and like, oh, you know what, I'm going to relearn it again. I think you find very quickly, wait a minute, I think I've done this before. I don't think I want to travel this path again. And you make a change. So anyways, it's clearly saying that someone has created, it's a self-created prison, really, is what it is. It's like a wall of protection. But this protection, it's like you don't want the world to see you, and you think the world doesn't want to see you. But we do. So, now this doesn't even have to be you. I feel more this is the king's energy, because I feel like this is what this sword in this Four Swords that I felt so strongly, that's what it's talking about. What was my part? Where is my part? My part is, you know, 8 is about a new beginning. Afraid to allow myself to have a new beginning. Interesting that it's also connected to the Lovers. I feel like there is, you know, there cannot be any hiding. Whether you want it or not, or whether this king wants it or not, there won't be any hiding. Everything will be illuminated. We have, look at this, the World. Here is the next chapter. And interesting, I often feel Aries is the beginning of the next chapter. Here it is. Here it is. This is the next portal. You know, to me, I feel the world is a very spiritual time. Your faith is important. Your morals are important. And it's because of that that I feel like this chapter, this type of chapter, opens up. We have the Death card. And then we have the Five of Wands coming over that Nine of Wands. You know, it's like, to me, death to an ego. Death to an ego. Because, why? Because my ego wasn't serving me. It wasn't serving me. Some may be mourning. And again, I feel like, you know, Temperance is saying, whatever is going on here in this Four Swords, we've got to give them the time. Or if it's us, we've got to take the time. But it doesn't really mean inactivity. It's really, you know, opening yourself up to allowing the healing to take place. But also, I feel like when we're in the healing process, many things come to us, like ideas, epiphanies, thoughts of someone, you know what I mean? Like, it starts to, like, show us, so to speak, the potential of the next path. May just feel like a dream, like, well, nah, I'm just dreaming that. But if you're dreaming that, then what's that saying? If you dream it, you can be it. No. If you dream it, I know it's probably so simple. If you dream it, you can have it. I don't know. I'm not sure what that saying is, but I do know if you dream it, the bottom line is then so it can be. Okay. Last but not least, we have the Seven of Wands. We have the King of Swords. How interesting that we have the King and now the Queen of Swords side by side. We have the King and the Queen of Wands side by side. We have the Knight of Pentacles, which, listen, this is a blessing that's coming into your physical world. I feel like it's connecting potentially some lovers together, potentially, listen, this may be connecting people who collaborate together, and then it may turn into more. I definitely feel like it'll turn into more. Temperance and the Knight of Pentacles both talk about patience. So, and then you have a lot of nines. So, this may have been a long time coming, but worth it. Worth it. I often feel like this is the guardian angel energy. And then you have the Queen of Pentacles. First of all, the King of Swords, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, potentially. Queen of Pentacles, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. So, let me give you the gist of what I'm picking up here. First of all, God's energy, right? I step out of the way and surrender any need for control in order to make room for God's healing love to flow through me and this situation. So, let me tell you what I feel like is going on. I feel like there was this queen who, probably in her job, I feel like she, I don't know if she stepped out of the relationship, stepped out of the, I definitely feel like she was untrustworthy, period. I felt like she was driven by her desire, period. I felt like it affected this king tremendously. In the energy of the Tower, which is destructive, right? It hurts. It feels destructive. Listen, doesn't mean I have to still be in love with someone, but even that hurts, right? I remember, like, with my ex-husband, and I wasn't in love with him anymore. This was towards the end, but there were still things that, knowing that he's out there still sleeping around, it hurt, right? Excuse me 1 second. Okay, I was only gone a second there. But yet, it's the same breath, I kind of forget where we left off. We're having quite a snowstorm here. And Sam has Dish Network. So the dish is just... Anyway, that's what we were hearing. So anyway, let's get back to what I was thinking. Or I shouldn't even say thinking, what I'm seeing. So anyways, I feel like this king, long story short, once he goes through this healing process, right, what's he going to realize? This Eight of Swords is here, right? So it's like keeping my opportunities away from me, this wall that I've built. Doesn't mean that I'm not working, but there may be more dreams, right, that are like, because this situation, this heaviness is going on, I'm not allowing myself to live my full potential. I feel like a lot of energy is about the next chapter. I feel like there's a lot of like-minded energy coming together. You know, the king and the queen here, the king and the queen here. Um, you know, the Knight of Pentacles to me is your guardian angel. Something that's coming into this physical world. I already know what it is, but I feel like, you know, the hangman is like what's important here, because until the hangman has that awareness, right, and accepts this ace, um, can the rest of this happen? I don't know. I don't know. Um, but I feel like for some, there could be the female counterpart reaching out. But it doesn't have to be that way. But nonetheless, I feel like-minded people are coming together. I feel like lovers are coming together. Um, you know, it feels like very natural energy. I don't know what I mean by that, and I know a lot of you don't like when I say that, but what I mean is, many times I feel like my guides are just giving me information, and we'll know what that means when the time is right. That makes sense? Anyway, I feel like also, you know, the realization of one's ego, and the ego not like, you know, listen, it's not worth staying in this fight. Um, but you know, what are many learning from this experience? And I feel like a sense of empathy, you know, it's like, how do I say this? I don't even know. I don't even know what I'm trying to say. Um, okay, just want to take one more look at that, and here is the ace. Here it is. This is into your physical world. You know, I feel like when the Knight of Pentacles shows up, you can trust this energy. You know, again, it's guardian energy, a guardian angel energy. We know that also because judgment is here. And this is like, I feel like this is your whole spiritual team. And again, whether it's to help you move on or help someone else move on, it's to put an end, right, to a certain way of being, a certain part of my life, that type of thing. Um, so, listen, so that I can live um, a passionate filled life. So here it is. I mean, I don't know. I feel like, you know, what's the only thing really standing in the way? And it's the Eight of Swords. Am I going to allow myself to have this new beginning? Am I going to chase my dreams, or am I only going to dream about my dream? You know what I mean? Like, am I just going to fantasize, or am I going to go after it? Listen, this may come to you again in a completely unexpected way. But the point is that it's coming. That's the point. It's coming, and it's connected to the lovers. So, whatever this may be, you know, the lovers itself, we're in the year of the lovers. I feel like this is a year where a lot of love is coming together, because I feel like the world needs it, in a whole. So the universe kind of gets involved here, right? Bringing people to the right people, so to speak. And I know many people don't believe that can happen, but you know, someone just gave me a donation, and I want to thank you. And it's because, you know, she ended a relationship much like myself, like end one relationship, and then within a couple weeks, boom, she had the same thing happen to her. An ex reached out to her, and now she's in a completely different life. So those are the things I'm saying. You don't, like, if you keep it a positive intention, right? You live your best life, you be your best self. How can those things then not come back to you? There is bad in the world, right? There's bad things that happen. We can't allow that to stick to us, right? And be, because you're meant, I feel like it's important that these lovers come together. And not just that, I feel like also there's something within your creative house where, listen, I feel like many of you helping the underdog, Aries, you're the go-getter of the zodiac, right? Anyways, guys, I'm going to leave it there. Let's go ahead and read God, though. How could we not? You prayed for help, and now it's time to allow heaven to assist you. God's love and wisdom have always been available to you, provided that you're willing to trust divine will. Release any unhealed components of your relationship with your Creator to Mother Mary and the angels in favor of developing a closer and more trusting one. This may require tremendous faith on your part, especially if you can't see a solution to your present situation on the horizon. This card indicates that you've been approaching this situation single-handedly, trying to anticipate and control the outcome by yourself. Anxiety comes from distrust in divine order and timing, along with disappointment when other people don't follow your plans. Surrender your need to be the scriptwriter helps you relax and actually get better results. God has room to heal you and this situation when you allow God to be in charge. All right, so I'm going to leave it there. Again, I'm going to say happy birthday to those celebrating their birthday. I'm trying to think how old, I don't even know if my friend watches this, Jim, would be, well, I won't give his age. But anyways, happy birthday. Happy birthday to Pisces, who, because this is going to be released while I think we're still in Pisces energy. But don't let that bother you. Anyways, if you're even still here, you already know that. I love you guys. I wish you the best. And I feel like there are some beautiful things coming into your life. And I feel like you need to be willing to accept them. Again, baby steps. It doesn't matter as long as it's a step forward. That's it. That's it. I love you. I will see you next time at my table. Bye-bye.